Yes, Agro, she's still dead.
Welcome back to On the Branch. I've been wanting to wait until we were out traveling a little bit, but while you saying that, I had to bring it back, right?
What up, Nimrod?
Didn't the... Oh, okay. I thought the statue was collapsing again. And I said, didn't that just happen? Alright, what's next? Let me guess, a Colossus?
A colossal shadow.
Oh, wow. Okay, so we're going to the lake. Here's your first flying one. Yeah. Alright, well, let's get started.
Okay, next time on the branch. Okay.
Amarith, how poor did you grow up? What'd you say? Like, I guess it changed, right, over your childhood?
It's hard to say.
Because, okay, let me give you through my real quick. And I'm bouncing this off of you to get to a point eventually. I grew up, my parents, I would have said lower middle class until they started splitting up and got divorced. So between the ages, for me, of 7 and 8, we went from lower middle class, as in, mom worked part-time, dad worked full-time. They were generally always employed, but they had 3 kids to take care of, and that's hard to do on those incomes, even in the late 80s to mid-90s. But, we scraped by. We had 2 cars, usually. You might even say we were upper poor class, upper lower class, whatever you want to say.
Upper lower, not lower upper?
Yeah, upper, exactly. Well, like, The Simpsons, they're upper lower middle class, which is a complete lie, because they are upper middle class. Just look at their house and look at Homer's job, etc. Anyway, so, yeah, around 8, my parents started splitting up, and my mom's side, mom was in poverty, and we were in poverty the whole time, and dad's income kept going up, and he got slightly better and better, and I would say he moved up into, he moved up half a rank or so, or a quarter of a rank, to where he was definitely middle class. I wouldn't say he was in the center of middle class, but, 40th percentile, and
lower middle,
by the time I graduated high school, I would say he was probably in the dead center. He had built up enough years working at good paying jobs and building wealth with the houses he owned at, places he worked at, yeah. Now he's probably actually worse off than when I moved out from high school, only because his income's lower. He's working non-union for about 3/5 of what he should be making. Actually, less than 3/5. Oh, hey, look, a shrine. I bet there's a lizard there.
Aggro.
Yeah. But yeah, and then I, me and Jamie moved out, and we were immediately back into definitely the poverty line. Oh, my mom really never left poverty. I guess she did after I grew up and moved out, and she had fewer expenses, and as her expenses dropped, she's I would call her
Aggro, can you fuck off?
Upper lower class now. She's still not. I'm better off than she is right now, for sure. Although she owns her house outright and that she lives in, and I guess wealth-wise, she's not much below me. The house she has, the equity she has in her house is, well, actually more than how much I have, more than my net worth. So her net worth's higher, her income's just lower. But she's going through the apprenticeship and the same thing I do. Oh, when I don't find it, I look in between and I look all the way up, so I get into here, and then I just start climbing and looking around. Because they don't leave a certain range of the shrine. You just gotta look a lot. Point the cameras around. No, I don't climb. I just point the camera up.
Well, no, I'm trying to climb the shrine.
You can't climb it from inside.
Oh, I thought you could.
No, you can only climb it from outside. I know it looks like you should be able to, but you can't. It's funny watching him try to scramble up a very sheer rock that you can't possibly get purchase on. Anyway. So tell me now how you grew up. My understanding is you were fairly poor most of your childhood because your mom was dying of skin cancer, and everything was going to medical bills. Yeah, and then your mom died, and then there was a lawsuit because it was an easily diagnosable problem that she died of that was not properly diagnosed initially.
Because malpractice.
And then you went to, I would say, upper middle class within a couple of years.
Yeah.
Just off of. It wasn't just that. It was also that your dad married another woman who had a middle class job, so you had 2 strong middle class incomes.
Yeah. Well, it was also because my mom initially pushed him to get that middle class job.
Oh, so your dad would have never met your stepmom if not for your mom.
Well, ultimately, because before my dad, like while they were,
oh, there he is.
Where?
He's on the right there.
Oh, I see him.
Yeah. Aggro's gonna fuck it up for sure. Maybe not.
While they were still before they even had my brother, the first child.
Maybe. Yeah. Oh yeah. He's walking right up to you. Point down. There he is.
Hold on.
Yeah. Okay. He's not dead. Get him. Shoot it. Keep shooting. There you go. Got him. Yeah, you got him.
Did I get him? Yeah. I think I got him.
What do you do when you're afraid someone's gonna fake death? You gotta double tap Amarith.
You double, triple, quadruple tap.
Yeah, gotta worry about that fall damage right before you save right now. Okay, so
because basically before they even have child one, he was still working at like a fucking like warehouse job, like.
Oh, child one, yeah, your oldest brother.
Yeah.
I guess your only brother.
Yeah, making a shit wage basically, and then she pushed him to go work for a post office, and then he started getting that, and that was good.
And then he met your stepmom Trish,
because
who's a wonderful woman.
Yeah, let me get to after the fact because it was at the point that they were both working before child one. One second. Where am I? That's not my sword. That is my sword. I'm going that way.
Hooray!
Is there a tree over there?
There are trees everywhere, my friend.
Yeah, I know, but if there's a tree over there, I want to get more.
Oh,
health.
like nearby?
Yeah.
Like on that rock you're looking at right here, or a little
like
further
over around in this area.
Oh, there's some tree. Yeah, that's probably a fruit-bearing tree. Okay, so your mom and your dad were both working until your oldest brother was born, or until you were born?
Until
your
oldest. Until my sister was born, actually.
Are those fruits on the lower tree? Fruits? Wow.
So yeah, she was working until my sister was born because I remember her working because she was basically a maid. She would clean houses and stuff for people. It's like I'm also trying to concentrate and do the things.
You're trying to play video games?
Yeah.
Are we saying that Let's Plays are hard?
No.
Okay. You saw the other little tree off to the side also had 2 fruits on it?
I did not.
Oh, and the big tree also has fruits on it. There's just fruit everywhere. Whoa! That can't all give you life increases. There's something fishy. Like maybe there's a diminishing return or something.
I don't know. I'm gonna get all this fucking fruit though.
Yeah, well, of course you are. We're gonna be a very fruity boy. We're gonna load up on carbs, and we're gonna be full of energy and vigor, and then we're gonna be exhausted in 3 hours.
They're gonna pass out and fucking...
Yeah, in 3 hours we're just gonna be jittering on the floor, wondering what went wrong and why we're already hungry again.
Nope, these are all health fruits.
Yeah. Huh.
I can see it going.
Maybe there's a maximum life bar we're eventually just gonna hit, and then it's gonna be like, no.
No, aggro. I don't want you right
There's
now.
still 2 more over there.
Fucking.
All the fruit. So, speaking of the fruits, okay, sorry, we have to come back, but remember, we're eating fruit right now. This is important.
Very, very important.
Very important. We're also eating fruit snacks here in the recording room, in the bird's nest.
Yay.
So, okay, your mom was working at least until your sister was born. Your
and when she
not stepsister.
And then when she was born, then they started having the problems with the cancer thing and having to deal with that, and that all spurred up, and because it was before she had child one.
Oh yeah, it wasn't just the medical bills that made you poor; it was the fact that she also couldn't work at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so you declined into poordom more during those years.
Then. I mean, they started poor. They got up a little ways because they were both working, and then they went
a
back
medical
down.
Catastrophe set them back. Almost as if we had a robust social safety net that maybe protected people in those situations. Maybe you would have grown up in a better situation and been better educated and had better life outcomes further down the line, had a higher income because you would have had better access to... you ended up getting pretty good access to education on that because of the wrongful death lawsuit. But still, you get what I'm saying.
Yes.
Not everybody gets that. Not everybody's death was... not everybody's medical death was,
Not everyone's death gets avenged.
Oh, you got to go... I wouldn't call it avenged, but yeah. Deterred. Has future ones like it deterred. I'm pretty sure you can swim and get up on that platform over there.
Yeah.
If you swim around.
But yeah, and then my dad met, my stepmother. They married and fucking... Well, also from the wrongful death lawsuit, my dad bought a big-ass fucking house.
Mm-hmm. Which he holds a lot of wealth in.
Yeah, which...
Well, and also because you kind of had a Brady Bunch story, right? Your dad had 3 kids, and then your stepmother had 2
kids, and working that same kind of job, and...
Yeah. Are you comfortable saying what your dad did for a living?
He was a postman.
Okay, yeah.
I said that.
Oh, you have said that before.
And my stepmother was as well. And then,
your stepmother was a post-woman, Amarith.
John, shut the fuck up. They were each
that is
postal
an awkward
workers.
Run.
Yeah.
They expect you to be carrying a weapon most of the time.
Sure. They eventually we eventually went from upper lower to like
upper middle.
Yeah, like upper middle, like maybe even lower upper.
Nah, I mean, you were in a neighborhood you're in a neighborhood like we're in now, where there are people that I would call upper class, but most of the people I'd put at the higher end of middle class. It's hard to say too, because I don't live other people's lives. I don't know these people's incomes. I don't know how sound the decisions they make in life are, because that affects a lot of it, right? Just how well you can save and how well you can not splurge on things. What do you do on this guy? Oof. I'm pretty sure you do just let yourself drop down there right now.
Yeah, and gotta go climb like one of the little towers.
Yeah, yeah. You get on one of those towers, and as he flies by, you jump on him, I think, is how it goes.
Something like that.
Okay, so yeah, that shot you up, and then you lived what you might call a more privileged life. But you still didn't get a lot of video games because you weren't allowed a lot of video games, correct?
Yeah, because, we can't be spending all this. You gotta trade in your video games if you want games.
I had very little of that. Now, we rented a lot of games, but I still think that's better than...
We did rent games too, but it was like if you want more games, you have to sell your games.
I'm so glad my parents never made us sell games. We still only ended up with about half of the ones we grew up with, just because some of them get lost along the way, some of them got stolen at one time or another, etc., etc. You lend one out and you forget to get it back,
and then that asshole kid moves away, or
oh my god. Fucking Trevor from Rolla, Missouri still has my copy of Ghost in the Shell. I'm still mad about that.
The third-person shooter game?
My DVD copy of Ghost in the Shell.
I was going to say, because there was a Ghost in the Shell video game. Are you talking about that? Yeah.
Huh.
It was a third-person shooter. It was actually... I kind of liked it at the time.
Yeah,
it probably aged like fucking shit.
I'm kind of mad that I own a copy of the second Ghost of the Shell movie and not the first Ghost of the Shell. Because if you ever watched the second one, it was bad. It was, and it's a shame because they spent a lot of money on it. There was a ton of animation in that sucker.
Climb up this thing.
Yay. Oh, that's the other thing, is you might just want to find a different one to climb up. We'll see. All right, well, this is all going to come back around, Amarith. Now I'm gonna finally tie a bow on this topic.
Okay.
So there were years where you were super poor.
Yes,
as a kid,
especially when I was way younger, and the way that I know that we were super poor was basically the fucking house that we lived in.
Yeah, well, yeah, I remember.
Even though that house is worth a fuck ton now, like back then it wasn't.
Yeah, back in the late 90s.
But it was also the fact that this was I think it was a 12 or 1700 square foot house at most.
So not gigantic.
Yeah, and I'm saying at most, and the basement wasn't even finished, stuff like that. Okay.
It was here in town and it had a basement?
No, this is in
this is back in New York. Yeah,
New York, New Jersey. So, and we had the amount of people that lived there. It was, my parents and us 3 kids, my mom's 2 sisters and brother, my grandparents, and my great-grandmother.
So that's 9 people in the house?
Yes.
Wow. Yeah, that's pretty poor. Oh, yeah, and then you were in a place where cost of living was still insane. I know it's worse now, but even late 90s, New York was a very expensive place to live. I don't think you're going to find a purchase there to grab onto.
Because I was thinking, his tail's hanging down there.
Oh, no. You do shoot him and he starts flying around. I do remember that part. No, you get on one of those more, square structures, like that guy out there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like he's flying around now.
Nope, he's just stomping on his perch.
Stompy?
Yeah, he's just hanging on his
stompy boy.
Little raven perch or whatever, eagle perch, whatever kind of bird he is.
Colossus bird.
The Colossus bird perch. So okay, let's bring it home.
Okay.
When you were a kid, and you saw commercials, and they said, find it in the fruit snacks aisle. Do you remember those commercials?
No.
It's in the fruit snacks aisle. You never saw... Oh, my gosh.
Actually, I vaguely recall
these were all over the TV in the mid-90s. And I kept thinking to myself, what fucking rich-ass grocery store has its own dedicated fruit snacks aisle? Well, I would say you probably want to get higher, but I guess it doesn't hurt to get them flying around for now. Because I think you can climb up around here somewhere. But yeah, I remember, like, what hoity-toity people are able to go somewhere where there's just a fruit snacks aisle, because it didn't click in my head that it was just an aisle of fruit snacks. But you know what happened? 20 years later, I took my first trip to Costco, and they have an entire goddamn fruit snacks aisle. Like, people buy enough fruit snacks, because that was my thought. It wasn't so much like, oh, you must be so rich. It must be like, oh, maybe you do just jump on it from the side there. Or maybe you got to get on that other structure. There's got to be a way to climb up somewhere, right? Or maybe you just get them to fly around here and jump on them. But yeah, it was more of like society has enough largesse because, again, since I grew up extremely poor, my very middle-class cousins seemed rich to me. In fact, I remember referring to my Uncle Bob as rich because he had a 2,200 square foot house for his family of 5, and his wife could stay at home and not work and raise the children. And also, he had a few nice toys, and he lived on an acre of land, but that's just because he lived where an acre of land is extremely cheap. You think? I think you're doing it wrong, but anyway.
I don't know. I'm fucking...
We'll figure it out next time on the branch.
Okay.